We're going to put you in on the hot seat, as they say. There's no time on this, but so I want you to...
In the glittering world of Hollywood, where stars rise and fall overnight, few names have burned as brightly and as chaotically as Johnny Depp. He was never the conventional leading man. From his earliest roles, Depp embraced the strange, the eccentric, the misunderstood. He became Edward Scissorhands, a fragile soul with blades for fingers. He swaggered into global fame as Captain Jack Sparrow, redefining what a blockbuster hero could be. Yet behind the dazzling performances and red carpet appearances, there was another story, one of turbulence, scandal, and survival. Lawsuits, broken relationships, and tabloid wars nearly destroyed him. But even in the darkest storms, Depp remained a figure impossible to ignore. How did a boy from small-town Kentucky transform into both a beloved cultural icon and one of the most controversial figures in Hollywood? Johnny Christopher Depp II was born on June 9, 1963, in Owensboro, Kentucky, the youngest of 4 children. His father, John Christopher Depp, worked as a civil engineer, while his mother, Betty Sue, was a hard-working waitress. From the beginning, life was far from stable. The family moved constantly, over 20 times, before finally settling in Miramar, Florida. For a child, this constant uprooting meant loneliness and detachment. Depp often described himself as shy and withdrawn, escaping into drawings, music, and imagination rather than building long-lasting friendships. When he was 15, his parents divorced, and the split left deep scars. The young Depp struggled with anger and confusion, turning inward to cope with the chaos around him. One beacon of light appeared when his mother bought him a cheap guitar at the age of 12. Depp clung to it like a lifeline. He spent countless hours locked in his room, strumming chords and teaching himself to play. Music became both his refuge and his rebellion, the language through which he could channel his pain and isolation. By 16, he dropped out of high school, determined to pursue music full-time. While teachers warned him he was throwing away his future, Depp believed that the conventional path was never meant for him. What he could not have imagined was that this defiant choice would eventually set the stage for something far greater than he had ever dreamed. After dropping out of school, Johnny Depp poured his energy into music. With his band The Kids, he played in local clubs across Florida, dreaming of rock stardom. By his late teens, the group moved to Los Angeles, chasing bigger opportunities. But success was elusive. The band broke up, and Depp found himself struggling to survive, taking odd jobs, including selling ballpoint pens over the phone, just to pay rent. Fate intervened when he befriended actor Nicolas Cage, who saw something unique in Depp and encouraged him to consider acting. Cage even introduced him to his first Hollywood agent. Reluctant but desperate, Depp auditioned for roles. In 1984, he made his film debut in Wes Craven's horror classic A Nightmare on Elm Street. Though his role was small, his death scene, swallowed by a demonic bed, left a lasting impression on audiences. Still, Depp was far from a household name. Years of minor roles followed until, in 1987, he was cast in the television series 21 Jump Street. The show was a hit, and suddenly Depp was a teen idol. Millions of young viewers swooned over his looks and charm. Magazine covers labeled him the new Hollywood heartthrob, but Depp hated the label. He didn't want to be a pretty face packaged for profit. "I felt like I was in a machine," he would later say, "like a product on a shelf." This dissatisfaction pushed him to take risks, seeking roles that were darker, stranger, and more challenging. It was a gamble, but one that would soon define him as one of the most daring actors of his generation. The 1990s marked Johnny Depp's transformation from reluctant teen idol to one of the most inventive actors in Hollywood. His breakout came with Tim Burton's Edward Scissorhands, 1990. With pale makeup, haunted eyes, and blades for fingers, Depp embodied a tragic outsider whose vulnerability captured audiences worldwide. It was the beginning of a powerful partnership with Burton that would span decades. Together they created cult classics like Ed Wood, 1994, Sleepy Hollow, 1999, and later Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, 2005, and Sweeney Todd, 2007. Each role reaffirmed Depp's reputation as an actor who thrived in the strange and surreal. While others chased blockbuster formulas, Depp took risks. He played a drunken journalist in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 1998, a quirky chocolatier in Chocolat, 2000, and even an eccentric drug lord in Blow, 2001. Critics praised his chameleon-like ability to vanish into characters that were as bizarre as they were unforgettable, but the role that catapulted him into global superstardom arrived in 2003 with Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. As Captain Jack Sparrow, Depp shocked executives with his eccentric performance, part pirate, part rock star, part trickster. Initially, Disney worried audiences wouldn't understand him. Instead, Jack Sparrow became a worldwide phenomenon, earning Depp his first Academy Award nomination. The franchise went on to gross billions, with Depp reprising the role in multiple sequels, each cementing Sparrow as one of cinema's most iconic characters. By the mid-2000s, Depp was at the top of his game. He was among the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, with annual earnings reportedly exceeding $75 million. Time magazine named him one of the most influential people in the world. For fans, he was more than just an actor. He was a cultural icon, a rebel artist who made weirdness mainstream, yet, as history has shown, the higher the rise, the harder the fall. And for Johnny Depp, storm clouds were already gathering on the horizon. For all his on-screen brilliance, Johnny Depp's off-screen life often became a theater of chaos. His relationships had long fascinated tabloids, from his fiery romance with supermodel Kate Moss in the 1990s to his 14-year partnership with French actress Vanessa Paradis, with whom he had 2 children. But it was his marriage to actress Amber Heard in 2015 that spiraled into one of the most publicized scandals of the modern entertainment era. In 2016, Heard filed for divorce and accused Depp of domestic abuse. Headlines exploded, painting him as a villain. Supporters rallied on both sides, while media outlets dissected every detail of their turbulent relationship. Depp vehemently denied the accusations and filed multiple lawsuits to defend his name. In 2020, his libel case against British tabloid The Sun, which branded him a wife-beater, ended in defeat. The court ruled against him, and the damage was immediate. Hollywood turned its back. Warner Bros. Asked him to step down from Fantastic Beasts. Disney quietly distanced itself from the idea of Depp returning as Captain Jack Sparrow. The actor who had once commanded over $20 million per film now found his career in freefall. As if the scandal wasn't enough, Depp faced financial woes. Reports surfaced of extravagant spending. $30,000 a month on wine, private islands, a staff of 40, and even a cannon to blast Hunter S. Thompson's ashes into the sky. Lawsuits against former managers revealed a fortune squandered, adding another layer of controversy. Media narratives painted him as unstable, eccentric, and self-destructive. For some, he was a tragic figure undone by excess and bad decisions. For others, he was a victim of a ruthless media machine and toxic relationship. Either way, Johnny Depp's carefully built legacy seemed on the verge of collapse. Yet history would prove that this was not the end of his story, but the crucible in which his future would be forged. After years of scandal, Johnny Depp's fight for redemption reached its climax in 2022. The world watched as he took Amber Heard to court in Fairfax, Virginia, suing her for defamation over an op-ed she had written in the Washington Post. The televised trial became a cultural event, live-streamed to millions. Every testimony, every cross-examination, every expression was dissected online. For Depp, this was more than a legal battle. It was a chance to reclaim his name. In June 2022, the jury sided with him, awarding $10 million in damages. Outside the courthouse, fans erupted in cheers. Online, hashtags like "Justice for Johnny" trended globally. After years of being vilified, Depp finally felt vindicated. But his reinvention wasn't just about legal victory. He returned to his first love, music. Depp toured with his band, the Hollywood Vampires, and collaborated with guitarist Jeff Beck on an album. He also accepted roles in independent films, including Jean du Barry, 2023, where he portrayed King Louis XV at the Cannes Film Festival. Equally important was his enduring connection with fans. For years, Depp had quietly visited children's hospitals dressed as Jack Sparrow, bringing joy to young patients. These gestures, once overshadowed by scandal, resurfaced as reminders of the man beneath the headlines. Johnny Depp's new chapter may not mirror the blockbuster dominance of his past, but it marks something more profound: survival, resilience, and the ability to rise again when the world expects your fall. Johnny Depp's legacy is as layered and complex as the characters he portrayed. He will be remembered as the actor who refused to conform, who turned eccentricity into art, and who gave the world unforgettable figures like Edward Scissorhands and Captain Jack Sparrow. His willingness to embrace the bizarre expanded the boundaries of mainstream cinema, proving that audiences would not only accept the strange, they would celebrate it. At the same time, his life serves as a cautionary tale. Fame brought him wealth and influence, but also exposed him to relentless scrutiny and personal collapse. Depp's scandals may forever shadow his reputation, yet they also reveal the brutal cost of living under the world's gaze. Ultimately, Johnny Depp stands as both a cultural icon and a survivor. His story reminds us of one powerful truth: even in the face of storms and scandal, true artistry can never be silenced. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood stories.